So we have some pretty big Nintendo Switch news. You guys know there was this rumor floating around a little bit after the Nintendo Switch Lite came out that suggests Nintendo was going to be putting that processor into the current gen Nintendo Switch. Well, it looks like that, of course, did happen, but it looks like we're actually getting some pretty major improvements to battery life than we originally figured, and it kind of screws up the whole line of the Nintendo Switch. Now you may actually want to reconsider your purchase if you're a person that does actually play in handheld mode, and I was not expecting this, and I think most gamers out there were not expecting this. They were expecting Nintendo to put that same Tegra X redesigned processor in the current gen Nintendo Switch, but we thought we would just get minor upgrades to something like the battery, and then the Nintendo Switch Lite would be the one that still gets the better battery. But now it looks like it's actually opposite. It looks like the current gen Nintendo Switch, when it gets this refresh, I think in August, is actually going to have the better battery life compared to the Nintendo Switch Lite. Honestly, if you ask me, I do not understand why Nintendo is doing this. I thought Nintendo wanted to sell the Nintendo Switch Lite. I thought Nintendo wanted to make the Nintendo Switch Lite the better model of the Nintendo Switch when it comes to handheld mode specifically, because it does have better battery life than the current Nintendo Switch that's currently on the market. But once this new Nintendo Switch revision actually comes out in August, it will have the better battery life of all three Nintendo Switches, the one that we currently have and the one that is coming out in September. So now you really have to rethink your purchase if you're a person that does play in handheld mode, and this honestly really makes you rethink as well the downsides that you are going to be missing when it comes to the Nintendo Switch Lite. It used to be that, well, if you were a gamer that wasn't really playing in handheld mode, or you didn't care about the docked mode and you only cared about handheld mode, the Nintendo Switch Lite was going to be the one for you. You're missing things like HD Rumble, you're missing the camera, you're missing the detachable Joy-Cons, but now it really looks like if you do go for the Nintendo Switch Lite, you will be missing a lot more features than you expected when it comes to the Nintendo Switch Lite. I guess Nintendo's theory here is they still want to make sure the Nintendo Switch current model that we currently have on the market is the one that's still the better model, and they're trying to make sure that consumers really understand that, and they're really trying to push the current gen Nintendo Switch by still keeping it the most relevant Switch on the market. So that's probably why they're giving it the best battery life of all Nintendo Switches on the market. They're just showing you that they're still standing behind the current gen system, and that the current Nintendo Switch on the market is still the premium one you are going to be buying. I guess they want to make sure that when you spend that $100, you really do feel like you're getting a much more better Switch than you originally thought at that $100 price point. Now it kind of makes my argument all irrelevant when it comes to which Nintendo Switch should you buy. Should you buy the current gen Nintendo Switch, or should you buy the Nintendo Switch Lite? Of course, if you're a person that plays in handheld mode, you may actually want to reconsider everything that you just thought about the Nintendo Switch lineup, because now it's almost worth your time to actually go out and buy the current gen Nintendo Switch when they do this refresh, because the battery is pretty insane. I think at the baseline you get 4 hours, something like that, and then when it comes to the high end of this new Nintendo Switch revision, you are going to be getting close to 9 hours. Now, of course, it will depend on a whole bunch of different circumstances, like your Wi-Fi being on, your Bluetooth being on, or not Bluetooth, excuse me, but you guys know what I'm talking about here. Everything you just have to take in consideration, and then to top everything off, it will depend on the game you're playing. Of course, indie games will get more battery life than something like a AAA game or a third-party game. But anyway, this is some pretty interesting news to know that Nintendo is still really going down that path of really beefing up the current gen Nintendo Switch, and they're really trying to make sure it's still going to be the premium one, and they're really trying to justify, I think, that $100 price increase that you are going to be getting when you buy the current gen Nintendo Switch. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.